Yeah. And they're fascinating because they started back in 95 as a battery company
Hmm.
and then kind of made this interesting jump into cars in 2003.
Right.
And they did it with this really smart approach of vertical integration,
Yeah.
controlling, essentially every part of the process.
It's really given them, an edge, I think, when it comes to cost and,
Yeah.
just really pushing innovation forward, especially with batteries, which, are at the heart of EVs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that control, over the whole process probably has a lot to do with their pretty explosive growth.
For sure.
I mean, you look at where they were globally in 2019 at 49,
Right.
and then just a few years later in 2024, they're the third best-selling auto brand in the world.
Yeah.
And that's just on plug-in
Just
vehicles.
on plug-in vehicles, which
Mm.
really highlights the shift that we're seeing in the market right now.
Huge, huge shift. Yeah, I think it's a testament to how much more appealing and practical EVs are becoming for everyday drivers.
Yeah, for sure. So in this deep dive, we're really going to focus on two things.
Okay.
One is BYD's new 1 megawatt charging technology.
Exciting.
It is super exciting.
Yeah.
And then also we're going to look at how they recently just became the top EV seller worldwide.
Mm.
So first, let's jump into this megawatt charging.
Okay.
So BYD's got this new thing called the Super E platform.
Right.
And it's really impressive because it boasts this 1,000 kilowatt charging capability.
That's double Tesla's latest V4 superchargers.
Yeah, that's twice as powerful as anything Tesla's offering right now.
It's pretty remarkable when you think about the technology that enables this. They have this full 1,000-volt high voltage architecture
Wow.
across the whole system, the battery, the motor, the power supply, even the air conditioning.
Yeah.
It just allows for much quicker energy flow.
Yeah. And you think about what that means for charging time. It's huge. And they've developed this flash charging battery
Yeah.
that can handle a 10C charge rate
Right?
and 1,000 amps.
Yeah. I mean, that 10C charge rate is a significant jump.
Yeah.
Most EVs right now operate much lower.
Yeah.
I mean, for the average driver, what this means is significantly faster charging
Yeah.
times, way less time plugged in.
Way less time plugged in, and they've engineered this battery with these super fast ion channels and less internal resistance.
It's cutting edge stuff.
Yeah, and this isn't just some pie in the sky concept.
Yeah.
They're actually putting this into their new models, the BYD Han-L sedan and the Tang-L SUV.
I've heard those are going to launch in China pretty soon.
Yeah, they're supposed to launch in April in China.
Mhm.
And it's also worth pointing out some of the other advancements that are on this Super E platform,
Yeah.
like their 30,000 RPM motor.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that's an incredibly high RPM, and what that translates to is quicker acceleration.
Yeah, and higher top speeds. I mean, things that you would definitely feel as a driver.
Absolutely. And they're also using these next-gen silicon carbide chips,
Right.
which improve the efficiency of the whole system.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so now we've got these cars that can charge incredibly fast.
Right.
But the question is, where do you plug them in?
Yeah, that's the next piece of the puzzle.
That's the next piece, and this is where things get really, really interesting.
Yeah, okay.
BYD is planning to build over 4,000 megawatt capable flash charging stations across China.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're going to have about 500 of them up and running by early April.
That's ambitious.
Super ambitious.
Yeah.
And, the infrastructure piece is absolutely critical.
It is. I mean, having those stations available is just as important as the car's ability to charge quickly.
For sure.
For the
Wow.
average driver, it's got to be convenient, too.
Absolutely. So these stations are going to be really cool.
Okay.
They're going to be the world's first all liquid-cooled megawatt terminals.
Yeah.
And they're capable of pushing up to 1,360 kilowatts.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of power.
that's a lot of power. And they're also using this technology called dual gun charging.
What does that mean?
So essentially, you could potentially double the charge rates by using two guns.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of like doubling up on the power.
Exactly.
That's clever. I mean, I guess it maximizes the use of the infrastructure,
Yeah.
and it offers some flexibility depending on the types of vehicles that are out there.
Absolutely. And to make sure that they can consistently deliver that 1,000 kilowatt charging,
Yeah.
they're including energy storage at these stations.
That's smart because that way they can handle any limitations with the grid,
Exactly. Yeah.
especially in areas where the grid might not be able to handle such a huge power demand.
Right.
For you to be able to get that fast charge.
Yep.
That's a crucial part of the whole equation.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's shift gears a little bit
Yeah, right.
and talk about sales, because BYD is now officially the top EV seller in the world.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And they sold over 4.1 million units in 2024,
Wow.
which is a 43% jump from the previous year.
Yeah, I mean, these figures are remarkable. It just shows you how quickly people are switching over to EVs.
Absolutely. And they had a really strong start to 2025 as well.
Hmm.
While Tesla actually saw a slight decrease in sales in some key markets.
Interesting.
BYD actually outsold them in the last quarter of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, and in China, BYD has a huge market share.
So what's driving this success, do you think?
Well, I think there are a couple of factors at play.
Okay.
I mean, firstly, they have a really wide range of vehicles.
Hmm.
So they've got fully electric vehicles, they've got plug-in hybrids.
Right, so they're appealing to a wider range of buyers.
Exactly.
I mean, some people might not be ready to go fully electric yet.
Right.
So a plug-in hybrid is a good option.
Yeah. And then they've also got this really competitive pricing.
Especially in China, I've heard.
Yeah, especially in China.
Yeah.
They've got the Seagull EV that's selling for under $10,000.
That's incredible. I mean, that really opens up the EV market to a whole new segment of the population.
Huge, huge game changer. And, in addition to being really strong in their home market, they're growing really quickly internationally,
Right.
with models like the Atto 3 and the Dolphin becoming increasingly popular.
Yeah, those have been getting good reviews.
Yeah. And it's not just about EVs for BYD.
Right.
They've broken into the global top 5 for overall car sales.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And they actually surpassed Tesla in revenue in 2024.
So they're making a real impact on the whole auto industry.
Absolutely. And they're just becoming this real powerhouse.
Yeah.
So what does all of this mean for the average driver?
Well, I think this megawatt charging technology could really reduce that charging anxiety that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Because you could potentially get, up to 400 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a game changer.
It is. I mean, think about it. You stop at a charging station for about the same amount of time it takes you to grab a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And you're ready to go another couple hundred miles.
It's huge. And I think it's also going to push other automakers to really innovate.
Absolutely. I mean, they're going to have to step up their game to remain competitive.
Absolutely. And when you look at BYD leading in global EV sales,
Yeah,
I think it really signals this rise of Chinese automakers.
I think so too.
And just a faster global shift to electric vehicles in general.
Yeah, I mean, they're really leading the charge.
And they're building new factories all over the world.
Yeah, their global expansion is really strategic. I mean, it allows them to tap into new markets
Yeah.
and navigate the complexities of international trade, which could ultimately benefit you as a consumer.
For sure. So to sum it all up,
Okay.
BYD's groundbreaking megawatt charging technology and their leading EV sales position are pretty major milestones.
They are. I mean, I think they really point towards a much faster transition to sustainable transportation.
Yeah.
And a new era for electric vehicles.
So considering BYD's rapid progress and their global ambitions,
Yeah.
what other innovations or market shifts might we see in the EV world in the next few years?
That's a good question.
And how might this impact, the established car companies
Yeah.
and the everyday driver?
Lots to think about there.
That's something for all of us to ponder.
Definitely.
All right, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Great to be here.
We'll catch you next time.